Everyone, I find myself in Rovinj in Croatia today, and I've got this beautiful background here right behind me. So I figured that I would share this beautiful scenery with you all today during the training. So if you don't have the worksheet for the email indoctrination sequence, please do comment on the video below. Comment or click on the link in the video below to allow for you to be able to get access to the guide that'll help you step through exactly how to write an email indoctrination sequence that's going to be able to help your agency be able to grow. So the first thing that I tend to see when it comes to emails and comes to prospects and issues that I see is that you work very hard to get that lead, and you spend a lot of time, you spend a lot of money on ads, potentially spending lots of hours creating content, writing blog posts, posting every week, and realistically speaking, they don't end up actually having that conversation with you. They don't know what is really special about you and your agency. They may even view you as a commodity. And when they don't get to know you, they don't get to trust you and ultimately don't get to buy from you. And what that ends up doing is that they end up, typically speaking, end up kind of ghosting you, and they never end up buying, obviously, if they end up ghosting you. So what we want to do for you is all of that hard work that you're putting into your lead generation process right now, we want to make sure that it pays off, that your ad spend, that your content, that your copy, and everything that you're doing is really able to have your prospects, the people that are engaging with your agency, able to have a very clear understanding of what it is exactly that you need to be doing and how it is that it is going to allow for your agency to be able to grow. So what we are going to be able to do with this email sequence is prospects will know who you are, they'll get to like you, they'll get to trust you, they really get to feel like they understand you on a personal level. They'll get to understand a little bit more of sort of what's interesting about your agency, even really have an understanding of why you are an expert in your niche and how it is exactly that you can help them, and help them being able to convert consistently, quickly, and quality leads that allow for you to be able to have that conversation, that meaningful connection, human-to-human conversation that you need to be able to grow your agency. So the first piece that I wanted to hit on is that this email sequence is something that I do use on an ongoing basis and work on with my clients as well. And it does allow for us to be able to have quite a significant amount of return, typically speaking anywhere between 20 to 25% of people that are opting into this list and receiving this email sequence that we use are actually being able to come into actually being a call. Are all of them qualified? Not necessarily, but we do have a process that allows for us to qualify them quickly, and it does allow for us to have trust and credibility in a quick 15-minute conversation that we will do a training at some point in the future as well. So the rules for this sequence is super important that you do follow these two fundamental rules when writing your copy. The first thing that you need to do is you need to be providing value, and it needs to not be salesy. The number one thing that I see that happens so incredibly often when it comes to email sequences and follow-up sequences is that they're so incredibly salesy, and it puts you off. I know that you've received them as well. And when you're doing that to your prospects, it doesn't allow for you to be able to have a better relationship with them. So you need to provide them with value, not be overly salesy, be a human first, and get them to know you a little bit before you actually start to try to engage them in having a conversation. So the first thing that we want to do, obviously, is this sequence is directly following a lead magnet. So the first thing we want to do is actually provide them with that lead magnet that they went and they were there for and what they downloaded. So we want to provide them with that tangible, genuine piece of value that they were here to actually be able to get. So we need to be able to bring their guard down, make sure that we're able to give them a win, be able to trust a little bit more in what it is that your agency is doing. And if we can get them to succeed in something small today, the amount of value, the amount of trust that you're able to build with that business owner, with that CMO, with that brand manager, you're able to build so much incredible relationship in a short period of time by providing them with some meaningful value. This particular piece, and I fundamentally believe this, one of the things that happens so much is that agencies believe that if you actually provide that much value in your lead magnets, in your email sequences, in what you're doing, that you're going to have given away everything and that they're actually not going to want to work with you. And I mean, quite frankly, what is the worst case scenario there? Is that you actually helped someone, maybe they were able to get somewhere that they never were going to be able to get to in the first place without you, and they were probably never going to work with you anyway. So all you did was did the world a good service and helped someone out. And quite frankly, I feel that that is a gift in and of itself. And hopefully you are more interested now in actually being able to help the people that you serve, even if they don't end up working with you. And that's my fundamental belief in business, is do well by people and you will do well as well. The next piece of the sequence is a phishing email. So there's lots of people that talk about this theory, and it's called a 9-word email. And the whole point of this email is to just try to get someone to initiate a dialogue and start having a conversation. So the way that you want to phrase this and form this email is pretty simple. You're going to ask them something small, something simple, something easy that allows for them to want to have a conversation with you. So the first and the 9-word email for us, one of the ones that we use, is tell us a little bit about your agency, what it is exactly that you do, and who you work with. Obviously, every single person is interested in talking about what they do every day. They spend 40 hours, if not more, doing that work every single day, and how it is exactly that you actually allowed to be able to get them to start talking about themselves allows you to be able to build a relationship. The next piece is providing them with 3 emails, value 1, 2, and 3. The format by which we actually go about doing this is sending YouTube videos and training videos just sort of like this, where we actually provide them with meaningful value of something that they can actually implement by themselves in their business today and in your agency today, allowing for them to be able to have an understanding of what types of things it is exactly that we're doing, and the same thing that you can do for your prospects as well. So let's say that you're a social media marketing and management agency. You can tell them, hey, these are the things that you should actually be focusing on, how to determine the hashtags, when they should be posting, how do they know whether their engagements are good, things like that that allow for them to know that they're doing the right thing and actually being able to help. And the final email of this sequence is the ask. It's another 9-word email that is going to be your base offer of, hey, are you interested in XYZ result in XYZ period of time? If you're interested, let me know. And it's a very short, simple email. The subject line is typically their name or hey or interested or invitation, something like that, that makes it feel quite like it's one-on-one and doesn't really need to be. So the final piece, and I want to push this piece home really, really, really hard here, is to make sure that you recognize that you really should not have your copy being super salesy. And I know that I've spoken about this before, but I want to really make sure that I drive this point home, is that you need to recognize that there are now buyers and later buyers. And not everyone is going to want to buy now. And if you try to push a later buyer into having a conversation with you now, all you're doing is pushing them away. And there's absolutely no need. It is not beneficial to you. It is not beneficial to them. Recognize where they are. And you can see those people in the way that they actually interact with your content, they interact with your site, what it is exactly that they're doing. And you can have a very, very, very clear understanding of how it is that that particular person is actually interacting, and not trying to push them to a call too quickly. And you can provide them with value, have that interaction with them, trust them, and build that trust with them without actually pushing them to it. So you can allow them to continue to be in ongoing weekly value type emails the same way that we do, allowing for them to, when they are ready, to reach out. And not everyone, again, is not a now buyer. They can be later buyers, and making sure that you recognize when you are writing your copy and when you're creating your marketing strategy around every touch point of how you're marketing. Make sure that you are building it in such a way that you recognize both the now buyer and later buyer. So please, 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 and I've seen this happen so many times where you're just following up on a constant basis in a way that is just trying to push them to a call. It's not trying to get to know them. It's not trying to understand where they are. It's not trying to understand their challenges. It is not trying to provide them with value. It is not trying to build trust. You need to be focusing and always being thinking about it from that point of view. A friend and colleague of mine is a sales consultant and talks about this exact same type of theory on an ongoing basis as well. And him and I have had these conversations, and there's essentially 2 primary things that you need to think about when it comes to marketing and sales. There's the transactional sale, there's the transactional marketing method, and then there's the transformational. The transformational one is where you're actually trying to help that person transform. And if you are wanting to make their lives better, the way that you write your copy, the way that you market, the way that you're actually building things out is going to have a much more meaningful relationship building than you will have if you're focusing just on selling them. So make sure the way that you're building out your copy, your marketing strategy, your follow-up sequences, and everything you're doing, all of your content, is focused on actually providing them with value. The same way that I'm trying to do here, I'm hoping that you're able to implement this email sequence, develop more leads, and see the amount of impact that we're able to drive for your agency. And if you are interested in talking to us more, then I'm happy to have that conversation. If not, and you're getting the value that you need out of these videos, then I feel happy, and that is a win to me too. And hopefully you feel the same. If you have any questions at all about this email sequence, feel free to comment on this video, or shoot us an email at info@creativeagencysuccess. Always happy to help. And also, obviously, these are email sequences that we do use. So if you are interested in actually seeing it firsthand of exactly how we actually go about doing it, you're welcome to go creativeagencysuccess.com and click on the resources tab. Tons of resources and guides that we have on the site that you can download today, and you're going to see that exact same email sequence live and in action and in place. So you're welcome to take a look at them, copy them, use them as much as you'd like. Again, if you have any questions, always here to help. Hope you're having a wonderful day and you enjoyed this video. If you did, please do click the like button. Lets me know that what I'm doing is actually being helpful, and so that I can continue to have that motivation to continue to help you guys every single week. Hope you guys really enjoyed this, and I will see you.